There's something about a children's birthday party that already feels cursed, the garish balloons, the sugar-rushed screeching, the abominable clown, with a gaze emptier than a black hole now crank, that existential dread up to 11, stretch it across time like taffy, and inject it with a biological need to assimilate you, and you have the partygoers they look like if someone gave Gumby a lobotomy and taught him how to grin like a car dealership. Inflatable, you see that smile and know instinctively that thing doesn't blink because it doesn't need to. They don't kill you, that be merciful. No, they convert you, indoctrinate you, wrap you in a yellow-skinned suit, and pump your brain full of helium-flavored psychosis until you're throwing a never-ending celebration for an event no one remembers. Every second with them is like being stuck in a Chuck E. Cheese where time loops. The pizza is made of fingers and the animatronics never power down. They scribble, "Let's party" on the walls, and what I hope is just paint, but deep down we all know better, and their idea of a conga line ends in assimilation. You don't get to leave, you get a party hat stapled to your soul forever. Ever trusted someone too much? Imagine that, but their smile doesn't quite crinkle, their eyes and their hands still drip when no one else is wet. That's the skin stealer, a humanoid-shaped wet pile of meat with the fashion sense of Buffalo Bill and the mimicry skills of Satan's own voice actor. You'll meet it at a campfire, maybe ITLL sit too close, or maybe ITLL offer you food. It won't talk much because its voice is just this strong like static in your ears, pretending to form syllables, but by then it's too late. You're already charmed, you've already let it close, and that thing is wearing the face of your best friend like it's Tuesday cosplay night. Hey race, the worst part, it doesn't just wear skin, it wears memories, mannerisms, laughs. You could spend hours with it, share trauma stories, bond over loss, and then wake up to your group dissected like a high school biology experiment, and one person's missing, or maybe the wrong one stayed. You don't just fear entity 333, you fear every person afterward. Is that Jason, or just a moist ghoul in a Jason onesie? You remember those nightmares where people run like animals, back arched, knees bent the wrong way, mouths unhinged, and leaking growls that make dogs whimper. Welcome to hound territory. These are not dogs, they are trauma given limbs. They crawl like every limb dislocated itself just to get better traction. Their breath is heavy and ragged like they forgot how to be human, but they remembered just enough to hate you. They hate your upright spine, your sense of safety, your smug meatbag face that dares look them in the eye. And God help you if you do, eye contact is a death wish. They'll lunge at you with the hunger of someone who's been locked in a sensory deprivation tank full of caffeine and daddy issues. You'll be lucky if they kill you fast. Mostly they don't, they maim, they play, they drag, no bark, all bite and drool and snapping tendons that sound like wet branches breaking in the dark. Oh, and sometimes the worst part isn't being attacked, it's realizing one of them used to be human and maybe still remembers how to scream your name. The smilers don't move, they don't breathe, they just wait and smile, the kind of smile that says, I know what your bones sound like when they snap, and I want to hear it again. You see the teeth, first pearly whites glowing in the pitch black like a toothpaste commercial made by Satan, then the eyes, twin flashlights of contempt. That's all you get, just a Cheshire cat grin floating in void space waiting for your light to flicker, because that's the game. Light is your shield, batteries are your lifeline. You better hope your flashlight doesn't cough or hiccup, because the moment the beam dies, so do you. And the smiler, it doesn't move into view, it appears like it's been there all along, like the dark itself wants you dead and just got a new mouth. They don't make sounds, not until they're already closed. Then you hear the teeth clicking gently, rhythmically, like they're counting down to dinner. Click, click, click. Ever heard of something called beautiful horror? That's the death moth, a winged abomination the size of a refrigerator, flapping in slow, graceful arcs, like it's auditioning for a demonic ballet. Only its wings are made of ash, and its mouth of nightmares. It emerges in silence, dusting the air with glowing spores that lull your nervous system into a coma. You think you're safe, that you found an angel of the dark, and then it screeches a sound like every window in your soul shattering at once, and your lungs forget how to behave. Some say the death moth sings that if you listen long enough you hear your mother's voice or your own screaming from inside its thorax. You'll never know though, because by the time it starts its lullaby you're already forgetting how to blink. And don't even try killing it. Fire makes it stronger, light attracts it, screams feed it. The only safe option is silence, darkness, and the pure trembling stillness of a prey animal pretending it doesn't exist. Too late it saw you blink. Imagine a meat puzzle solved by a blind god with no sense of shame or mercy. That's a clump. It doesn't walk, it crawls, it slithers forward like it's dragging every bad dream you've ever had about losing your fingers in a blender. There are no eyes, no heads, just arms connected to more arms, sprouting hands where elbows should be, fingers like tentacles groping forward with no coordination, but unstoppable hunger. You don't hear clumps approach. You feel them, a creeping cold like regret in physical form. The floor gets sticky, the air smells like blood and rusted silverware. Then you see it, barely illuminated by your flickering light, a pile of human limbs that should be dead, but isn't, each part moving with grotesque independence, each finger desperate to touch. And when it does, oh, you're done. Those hands grip you with the tenderness of a funeral and the force of a riot. They don't kill clean, they absorb you, disappear beneath 1,000 fingernails. You scream, and the scream gets muffled under the flesh. Avalanche, one more limb for the pile. It doesn't hate you, it doesn't even know what hate is, it's just lonely. So very, very lonely. You ever go without food for too long and start imagining your friend's face looks kind of delicious? Yeah, wretches took that thought and ran with it straight into a pit of depravity. They used to be people, wanderers, survivors, your campmate, your brother, yourself. Maybe then the hunger got loud, the walls started whispering. The food ran out, and suddenly that warm body next to you seemed like the only edible thing in this godforsaken maze, and after the first bite, there's no coming back. Their eyes are glassy like something's knocking behind them. But no one's home, they don't talk, their mouths are too busy dripping with drool, with guilt, with everything they've lost. Skin peeled back at the cheeks, teeth shattered from gnawing bone. And they're fast, so fast it breaks logic. They scramble like broken insects, clawing walls, tearing out their own hair, just to feel something. You hear their scream before you see them, a long, high-pitched screech that sounds like a modem being murdered. What's worse than being hunted by a monster? Being hunted by someone who used to beg for help like you. You ever walk past a window at night and feel like something's watching from the other side? Now imagine that sensation baked into a place designed to warp your trust in reality. In the backrooms, every window is a lie, every reflection is a threat, and the things behind them, they wave, they mimic people. You know, loved ones, lost pets, yourself. They hold up signs that say things like, "Come home, we miss you, it's safe here." But the face is wrong, the smile doesn't reach the eyes, or maybe it reaches too far. You look into those panes, and something inside you bends, a compulsion, a nausea, a whisper in your brain that says, just open it, just a little, just peek. And if you do, gone, instantly pulled into glass space, your body left behind, slack-jawed and wide-eyed, your last breath fogging the glass as your reflection walks away with your identity humming your favorite song out of tune. There's a reason they call them false windows, because what's on the other side isn't a view, it's a trapdoor to unreality. They knock sometimes just once, like a polite invitation to the worst mistake of your life. Yendi.